Well, devolution are the hearts of, success of any government. And of course, since taking it up, it's very, very important that we just review on what really we have done in terms of making sure that devolution is a success. You speak to the governors that have been there since the time it started, that will tell you that this is the best thing that has happened to Kenya. But do you believe it is so? Away from it, we place a special eye on Kilifi County just to get to see what they need to expect, upon the change of reign. And we are honored to have none other than Kilifi Governor, that is Honorable Gideon Mung'aro, for this very, very important conversation this morning. Briefly, a bit of the political politics, the coastal politics, we'll also touch on that, and a couple of matters in relation to the coastal economy, which we are largely talking about, the blue economy. It's an honor to have you, Mheshimiwa, this morning as we get to this very, very important conversation. Karibu to TV47.
Thank you.
This is Morning Cafe. I am Linda Alela. I know we've spoken earlier, but yes, here we are, and we get to this very important conversation. Where to begin? First of all, Jambo, Kilifi kunaendelea vipi?
Kilifi kuko sawa.
All set?
Yes.
All right. What's the challenge like in terms of taking up the government there, in relation to your previous, positions that you've held, which are very, very crucial as well in terms of governance in the country?
Kilifi has many challenges. I think you have seen the last days that every time we talk, especially of drought, Kilifi is one of the counties affected by severe drought. You can see also last week among the 5 counties in Kenya on alert, Kilifi is leading. Yeah. So the main problem of Kilifi has been water. Water scarcity in Kilifi is real, and this is one of the things I really intend to address. We have started in the last, since I came into office, to address this issue, to find ways and means on how to address this issue. I've been dealing with health matters, which has also been an issue. But the last 3 months, we have been able to sort out at least one, the health issue. Every facility today in Kilifi has medicine. Thanks to KEMSA, we sorted out what was pending, and KEMSA were able to give us at least 58% of the supply we wanted. And the rest we bought from the other companies which are allowed by KEMSA to supply. We are trying to talk with many partners on issues of especially resilience, because we cannot talk of also of drought situation always, but we are not doing something about it. Climate change is real in Kilifi, and our people also have not made it better, because many areas are really doing charcoal business, and we have earmarked to at least this rain season to grow at least, to plant at least 10 million trees. So there are many issues we are dealing with, but what I'm happy about is that we were able to form our government in very quickly. We have had CECs since October last year, just 1 month after swearing in. We have now chief officers in place, like many other places where they are still struggling with that. So we are up and running now. We have already passed our supplementary budget, already approved last Friday by Control of Budget. So we are resting against time. As you are aware, this financial year is ending in June. Yeah, the cycle is very tight, because we came in August, and the supplementary budget have just been approved. And I want to thank my MCAs, because they worked, instead of going on break on the 6th of December, they worked up to 22nd of December to make sure they approved that. And we'd love to know how you are handling this different, because it's not been all rosy in other counties in terms of just working or having a proper relationship between the executive and the members of the county assembly. But that aside, what makes you think, and in your review, that you will manage to do the things different? We have one of the best performing leaders in the coastal region, that is Emerson Kingi, left as the Kilifi governor, or former Kilifi governor, and that he did not manage to address some of these
these crucial matters that you speak of. So what gives you the belief and the motivation that this is going to be different? And do some of these issues then align to your manifesto?
Yes, all what I'm talking is in my manifesto, and I've now also aligned it to the CIDP, the County Integrated Development Plan, which we are going to launch very soon. So we made sure that this is integrated, because that's the really document, the manual for the county. And yes, I have a very heavy, I have a lot of energy and motivated to change things in Kilifi. And I believe you can change the things. There are things which are quick wins, which you can do. There are areas where we are thinking, how do we get water? We need to do some, not water pumps, but small dams in some areas. Some areas we need to do piped water. And we are trying also to partner with friends. I've managed, since I came to office, I managed to get a few partners who have come along. We have already, like places like Kaloleni, we have some partners who came from the US. We identified some boreholes which were dug before, were drilled before, but they had salt water, and now they're going to put desalination machines in those boreholes and then pipe the water to the villages. Small villages, but it does like 70,000 liters a day. So if you have several boreholes with a desalination machine powered by solar, we'll be able to also slowly sort out the water issues in the areas where when you drill you get normally saline water.
Are there timelines to this, and is it then an irony that we're talking about the coastal region really that does not have water, and this perhaps is not just a problem, you know, that is unique to Kilifi?
Yes, it's the biggest issue has been the national government has always been promising to finish the Mzima 2, which would have helped a lot. Mwache Dam will be another source which will really help Kilifi and Kwale and Mombasa itself, and many other many other areas where we believe if the Mwache Dam, the Mzima 2, are up and running, then we'll really be able to pipe this water to the other areas. For example, we had already a program which was supposed to start from a place called Samburu towards Kinango, all the way to BAMBA area, which is very scarce. But we have also said as a county, we are going to partner to do the Baricho, where they have the boreholes are a bit low now with water, so we want as a county also to do one of our own, instead of waiting always for donors. There's a place in Magarini called Kazandani, which also has a water source. We have already put money in this budget to do a borehole there and aim that water to go a particular area, so that because we share with Mombasa our water. Although Kilifi has still uses 67% of what we produce at Baricho, but still not enough, because Mombasa gets hardly 37%. Then there's always this what you call they call it sharing, or they do what you call rationing of the water. Yeah. That they give you water this hours and this your own water that you are given, because the water comes from Kilifi County. But we want to end up this problem by also, because some of the problems they are facing is power, electricity also. That's why sometimes they share, not because we don't have enough water, but also sometimes electricity is a problem. So we want to sort it out by seeing if we can do solar pumping in that area. And we have done in the last 2 months already a test case in a place called Marafa in Magarini, where we are now pumping water with solar.
All right.
It's some small way, but we have started.
Progress. We will have some other time, Mheshimiwa, to look into some of the plans that you have for the people of Kilifi. But if I heard you right, then you congratulate the members of County Assembly for what they have managed to come in to do for the county so far. What then do you intend to do to just make sure that you have a proper relationship all through your, tenure? Because then again, based on what it is that we have seen across the different counties, it's not been all rosy, and it appears as though the members of County Assembly are always there hunting on the governors. Or better yet, to argue is that the governors are really not, executing their mandate as should be.
I think what I should advise my colleagues is very simple. We are all leaders in our own right. MCAs are also leaders elected by the people. And all what they need is respect, consultation. I'm privileged to have served as a councillor and mayor of Malindi. So maybe from that background, I know the relationship between MCAs and the leadership. And I don't think I want to raffle myself with the MCAs because I need them to deliver the services for Kilifi people. Yeah. Anything I want to pursue, I will need to go back to the house and tell them, please help me to pass this budget or pass this policy for me to be able to deliver to the people of Kilifi. So I will work with them very closely. We have already resolved as a team that will be meeting once a month, even if it's for tea, even if we have no business to discuss, just to bond and make sure that we keep on consulting. Just have an open forum where we don't have a formal meeting, where people can air their views, their ideas. We are leaders. You might be a governor, but every day you learn something new, even from the smallest
point
person on the ground. So I intend to keep my relationship with them very closely. That's why they could work Saturday and Sunday till they made sure they delivered the supplementary budget. It was very important because, as you know, now kids have to go to school from the 23rd. Yeah. And if we did not do this, then we would not have been able to disburse bursaries to the kids. So, and I want always to compliment them for working very hard and thank them for the cooperation. And I'll continue working with them closely.
All right.
I think what I'm advising is basically our colleagues must just up the game. One thing we must realize, we are all elected by the same people.
All right, all these counties of the coast, we always say that if your neighbor then coughs, you definitely catch a cold. And so we are keen to understand what is the general coastal region leadership keen on in terms of making sure that it will be a game of the past, this which we call marginalization of the coastal regions, and also tapping into what are the resources of the coastal region to make sure that this is a whole different space, courtesy of devolution. We're talking about Kilifi, Tana River, Kwale, Mombasa, Taita Taveta and the likes.
We have already a program within the Jumuiya counties of Pwani. I'm the chair now of the Jumuiya counties of Pwani. And we have already started a program and a slogan talking about changing the story of the coast. And tomorrow we'll be having a meeting with the CS of Blue Economy and Mining, all the coastal governors. We're already engaging with various investors from different places, be it World Bank, European Union, and other investors, to really embark on a really change on the blue economy program.
Can the people trust you, Mheshimiwa? This is not the first time we're talking about the blue economy. And during the Jubilee government, it was even larger in terms of, just how the president was keen on making sure that this is a success. Just how then do you guarantee your people that they can trust you? And in this, I'd love for you to speak to the matter of, the coastal region parties that, were largely spoken about before the 9th August election, the coming together of this very region to produce a leader that, will be bold enough to articulate the matters of the people of the coast and at a higher level, at the national level, on the table.
What happened is, and I think I've made this very clear when we had the first meeting with the European Union and the Jumuiya County, just a month after I came into office. I was very clear in this meeting, and I've had several other meetings, including before Christmas we had another meeting of the marginalized, or the counties, the 14 counties, the Lamoods, where you have a special program of resilience going on with the European Union at the moment and the World Bank. And I told the European Union in our first meeting very clearly, and that's my message still, that we move from the hardware now, from the software now, and we go the hardware. Money has been spent. The blue economy was a big thing the last government, and I appreciate that. But I think it's high time now that we move out of these workshops and meetings in hotels and capacity building. Kenya and Kenyans have had a capacity built for a long time. We have clever people now who, when you capacity build for a month or two, they can run, they can be TOTs, they can be trainer of trainers. And then you spend that money on really solving problems. The problem we have had is we are spending so much money on workshops and trainings. For example, when I came into office, we have a program going on with the Department of Agriculture. And I saw that 135 million shillings somebody is claiming to pay for training 200 groups of women. While this money was supposed also some to be used to build the bandas or the places where the women can keep the chicken and buy them food for the chicks. And I think we need to move from the level of spending too much money on now just educating people and move into really programs. One of the biggest problem impediment of blue economy, I've realized, is the money charged for taking people to the seafarers. The seafarers is too much. What is charged by Bandari College is too much. What is charged by the hospitals? They insisted on doing medical checks at certain hospitals. Most of them are private, so you end up having youth running around us borrowing 60,000 for medical checks. I've spoken, and my colleagues, we have already engaged the Minister for Blue Economy, and my suggestion is every county, coast county hospital, to set up a center where it can be accredited by the Maritime Authority, so it becomes the testing lab, so that we can cut this cost, this 50,000, where a youth needs to go for medical checkup before they are taken into the ships.
This is business for very many people, you will agree with me. Yeah. How do you intend to achieve this, neutralizing this ground without rubbing people the wrong way? Because then you are talking politics, you're talking appealing to the people, you're talking cartels, if you wish to say, and you really are in a mission to make sure that this is neutralized. Just how?
You see, we will lead as leaders to really sensitize our people that now you don't need to go to Mombasa Hospital or Aga Khan. You can be tested at Kilifi County Hospital, and it's been accredited by Maritime Authority, and instead of paying 60,000, you'll pay 5,000 shilling. Yeah, and those who can't afford, but they can get the opportunity to be waived by the county to make sure we get as many youth as possible to assess these opportunities.
Okay, fair enough. And that is on the blue economy and generally the coastal region. The function of devolution highly dependent on, its relationship with the national government. And the president then tasks his deputy, with this task of ensuring that, he speaks to the governors and there's that seamless approach to matters and, perhaps a peaceful coexistence in terms of making sure that people are able to benefit both at the national government and going down to the level of the counties. First of all, do you think this is the right direction to take? And what do you suppose needs to be done to make sure that indeed devolution is a success story?
You see, devolution is envisaged in the Constitution of Kenya. Yeah. So really, the national government have no choice when it comes to sharing of revenue. The only thing is, of course, we have the relationship through IBEC, and we have also the summit chaired by the president, which will, the first one I think will take place next month. And this is all to make sure that we build synergies and work together. You see, the success of Kilifi County government is success of Kenya, and the success of the sitting president. So I think we need to work very closely together. The Constitution says so, that the national and county government will work together. So if this happens and the relationships do not really sour and we just decide we need to serve the same person, where we want to be proud of as national government that we have delivered services and the county government, then I think we can change the story of these counties and the living standards of our people on the ground.
All right. Would you feel that perhaps the Deputy President then would get to a space, or maybe the executive at the level of the National Assembly would interfere way too much? And looking at what played out in Nyanza region, is there that urge and desire to have, equally the President, which I think he has done already, get back to the people of the coastal region for them to get to enjoy more goodies?
I think the relationship is not about goodies. The Vice President, the Deputy President, is basically the chair of the IBEC, where all the budgetary issues and all the important issues are raised, especially the ones which not only the county shares, but also the national issues, where they complement the counties. And I don't think it's you need goodies. Actually, the thing is, there are functions which are still run by national government, and I think the relationship is good because I will do the devolved programs, which has a budget in my county, and the national government will come and complement to the national programs which are supposed to be done. And I think you only can do this if you have also a good relationship on between the two levels of government. And I think it's not because they are goodies. If you see the story of Nyanza, where everybody is talking so much about, initially when the president went there, you didn't think you saw many people coming out, but when they went this time, because the party leader had told the region, because Azimio have the most seats in that area, also told them, you have no problem to embrace the president, you receive him and cooperate as usual, but everybody knows their space. I know that I will cooperate with the government, but I'm still in ODM.
You need to tell us something more in relation to that now that you have brought it yourself, you've brought it up yourself. Is there more than meets the eye when you literally get to see? I mean, why is it that then the party leader did not say the same last time and this time around, and this conversation on perhaps some bit of changes in the constitution? Is that time, or here that we would want to have a change in the constitution, and that maybe there is some agreement across?
I don't know. I think the party leader of Azimio has been very clear that, yes, if we want to change the constitution, let's follow the law. Don't forget that Azimio tried this, and the party leader of ODM tried this, then the court turned it down. And I think the best approach is, again, because we have already the lessons from the court, which pronounced itself that if you want to start this initiative, it must be people-driven. Right. So I think instead of us wasting a lot of time on going, then we are taken again back to court and whatever, let's have an agreement, because the idea which the Azimio leader and now what the president has sent to parliament really matters in some point. So I think the people should forget the differences, come together and say, yes, you are right, the court, you didn't do it properly, that's why court turned you down. Now that we know what the court said, the best way to follow to change the law is this. Let's get together and change where we think it's going to benefit the people of Kenya. All
right. Mheshimiwa, time does not allow us to go beyond this point. But before we go, as you speak to the people of the coastal region, do you agree that there's a vacuum in terms of, just getting a leader that is substantial enough to carry them to the next level, to make sure that, these conversations of marginalization are a game of the past, to make sure that Lamu is a different space, to make sure that Kilifi is a different space, to make sure that as the country continues to benefit out of this very government, then indeed these people are going to to benefit. And looking at the bigger picture, perhaps the president hailing from this very region, and now this in relation also to the meeting that you held alongside Abdul Somad Jumwa in relation of the representation of the coastal people.
Yes, I think Coast is not lacking leadership. We're all there. I'm one of them. So one of us, I'm sure, will take the mantle and make sure that
you have a kingpin.
We have somebody who galvanizes around us. And I'm intending, as a chair of this, the Jumuiya Counties Appointed, to call a meeting soon of all the governors, all the members of parliament, the leadership who are appointed currently in government. And I had a meeting yesterday with the CS agenda. They said soon we'll call a meeting where we'll start with the politicians, then we call the government officials who are in government, but they come from the region, so that we can have a conversation around together to see what are the areas where we need to push harder so that things can be different in the region.
Okay.
We cannot sit back when we are elected and believe that because we work for this party, or we are in this party or in this party, that we cannot take the bull by the horns. I think we should forget the different parties we come from as a people and decide now it's high time that we get together on one table and push our agenda for the region.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Honorable Gideon Mung'aro, the Governor, Kilifi County, for speaking to us this morning. And like I say again, we certainly hope to have more moments of discussing the progress of the people of, the coastal region, the people of Kilifi, and beyond, the people of Kenya. Asante sana once again.
And thank you very much.
All right, we shift gears.
Next time you give me an hour.
Even two, if you make sure that you 8 times, sawa. Or perhaps I was talking to Karen Nost, who's one of us. I call her one of us because she's been part and parcel of this family, to tell her that someday we're going to visit Kilifi County.
Yes.